tomorrow at this time. So these things are being discussed. So one Maulvi Sahib in the team of the opponents got very impatient. He took up the floor and said, okay, I am going to answer this question. He said, but first answer my question. If you put some water in a lota, is it possible for that water to penetrate the thick wall and go across to the other side? Everybody said, no, it's not possible. He said, now bring some ice. Put that ice into the water and see what happens. Just change the temperature and it goes across, right, however thick the metal is. So if that can happen, how can Jesus Christ, why should not Jesus Christ do the same thing? Why there was no barrier in between? Here it was a barrier. So the place where the debate was held, most of the audience knew this. So they had a hearty laugh. The only person who could not understand the laugh was against whom was the Maulvi Sahib himself. He was enjoying the situation as thoroughly as in this world. He thought, I have made the absurdity of his stance so clear to everyone that they are enjoying him accordingly. Only unfortunately much later for him, so it was too late for him. When he was given the epithet, the title of Maulvi Loki. Wherever he went, his title went along. And till his death, he was called Maulvi Loki. So this is the standard of their college as far as the worldly things are concerned.
Yes, I mean,
but don't apply this the same please to Ahmadi's Maulvis.
There's no comparison between our Ulama and their Ulama, but I was just thinking of, this. But I'm just thinking those things, but we have already said this.
Yeah, I'm explaining it because I thought some people might misconstrue your meaning and misunderstand what you have to say. Because that impression could also be carried by your question. You know, only a few years ago, some Maulvi group came to discuss Ahmadiyya with Jim Rabba, and I was appointed to handle them. It was quite a large group, I think it was in Sharpura or some other district. But anyway, the Maulvi Sahib was discussing things with me. He mentioned something which made me suspect that perhaps he does not know that the world is round. The earth is round. So I couldn't believe it because it totally happened a few years ago, 3 or 4 years ago. But still, he repeated that. And I said, why not ask and find out? So I said, Maulvi Sahib, would you kindly tell me if according to your concept, the world is round, the earth is round or like a plate? He said, both of course. Round like a plate. You see? There is upside, there is downside. So this is the sum total of the knowledge.
It's good. No comparison. Thank you very much.
Sir, I want to ask a reference or verse from Quran about the...
I'm going to the microphone, please, because otherwise you won't...
I want some reference from Quran or otherwise from other reliable sources that strength is used in flogging or striking in Pakistan. Strength used in flogging and striking to criminal accused persons, either to control or to limit it. Is there any control or limit?
Yes, of course. The
there is no control.
Understand, the point is that you should understand Arabic language and the term jalda as applied and used by the Arabs of the time of Hazrat Muhammad Mustafa Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Jalda was not the army lash which you call Koda of today. It was simply like chittar is exactly. The Punjabi word chittar is slightly descriptive of that jalda. It is a flat piece of leather or something, of that nature. This is why it was called jalda. Jalda means leather, literally. And then there was no possibility of that person having died during the process of receiving that punishment. However strongly you may apply jalda, the person could not die, because the Holy Quran speaks of such people and says that they should not be permitted, after they are punished, they should not be permitted to marry among the chaste people. If there was no question of their survival or there was a danger of their death, why should Holy Quran start speaking of life after this jalda, after receiving this punishment?
But spotter of this,
No, just a minute. You asked me a question, listen to the answer, please. From that, it is very obvious that the jalda used in the Holy Quran is the jalda known to Hazrat Muhammad Mustafa Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and his followers and his contemporaries. If the jalda of today is something different, then that is not the one which is spoken of in the Holy Quran. And it is different. Secondly, that jalda did not kill people. While here, after every 5 strokes or so, a medical specialist has to attend the patient, and the person is the recipient of that punishment and go through all the checkings to find out if he will be able to sustain further punishment. If not, then it's left off. It is very rarely, of course there are some instances I know in history, where a person of a weak health or somehow during the course of his punishment died. But that was not the normal phenomenon. Here, if you apply the same punishment through the Koda of the modern days to anyone, without any break, without any let or loose, most often than not he will die, he will not be able to survive that punishment. So it is not the same punishment as mentioned in the Holy Quran. Now you tell me what you want.
Supporter of some ulama or advocates for this, or supporter of this severe punishment.
Which severe punishment?
This strength, use of strength. Now which is being which is
I have not spoken a word against the use of strength. What I have spoken against is the type of weapon, the type of instrument of punishment. Yes. The difference lies in that direction, not in the direction of force used to apply that instrument. There too there are two opinions. There are also two opinions among the Muslim scholars. Some say, and they prove their case through quoting certain traditions, that while beating with that jalda, which is not an army lash, you should not raise your elbow above the shoulder height so that the white of your armpit can be observed. That is the limit to which you can apply your power. And some say it should be fully extended hand and it can go up to any height you can raise it to. And then the force applied will be completely different. So among those non-Ahmadi scholars, there are also two groups about this. And on this issue, we're not making an issue out of this as such. They themselves are divided in two, and some Ahmadis believe this and some believe in that. But if and and when the possibility